Team Fortress 2 has no shortage of controversial weapons, from items that are outright broken to those that feel completely underwhelming. Every player has their own opinions on what's worth using and what's best left to gather dust in your inventory. But sometimes a weapon's true potential gets overlooked because it's overshadowed by stronger, more popular options, or just because it doesn't fit the typical playstyle. Today, I will be diving into one of the least loved melee weapons in Team Fortress 2. The Vita's only upside is its unique organ mechanic. Every time you hit an enemy, you collect an organ, storing 15% of your Ubercharge per organ, up to a cap of 60%. On paper, this sounds great. Dying as a medic doesn't mean you're losing all your progress towards that game-changing Uber, but the catch is obvious. As a medic, running into melee range to land hits is risky at best, and reckless at worst. You're putting yourself in danger of getting killed just to preserve Uber for after your death, which makes a terrible sense of irony where you are encouraged to die to make any use of this weapon. Now there's the minus 10 health penalty, which makes an already risky weapon even more punishing. This gives the Vitasaur a stigma of being a weapon that encourages death. Not only are you putting yourself in melee range to collect organs, but that health reduction makes you easier to kill. Or does it? Sure, the minus 10 health penalty sounds like a big deal on paper, but how much does it actually affect your survivability as medic? With 140 health instead of 150, you're still dying to the same headshots, the same critical hits, most burst damage options, and of course, those dreaded backstabs. The difference is almost negligible in most situations because medics aren't tanky to begin with. If you're caught out of position, 10 extra health isn't going to save you. Other than ship damage or an extra second of afterburn, the only real difference is against a maxed ramp-up direct hit, which deals 142 damage. But let's be real, as a medic, are you really surviving long at 8 HP against a soldier in your face? I don't think so. So why do people really not use this weapon? Oh. The Ubersaur is everything the Vitasaur wants to be, but better. It provides a guaranteed Ubercharge gain on every hit, with it being 25% now, rather than 15% on death, which the Vitasaur provides. Its only downside is a 20% slower swing speed compared to the Vitasaur's minus 10 health penalty. The Ubersaur's reliability and simplicity makes it the clear winner for most medics. There are a few things people overlook when comparing the Vitasaur to the Ubersaur. First of all, the Vitasaur can actually be better in certain situations. For example, if you're already at 100% Uber and you land a hit with the Ubersaur, it's completely useless. You've gained nothing. The Vitasaur, however, lets you collect an organ, meaning that if you were to die, you'll respawn with 15% of your Ubercharge ready to go. This can be a real game changer. Let's say your pocket dies, and you're left trying to make a last-ditch effort in order to survive. With the Ubersaur, you might be able to get that final hit, and pop your Ubercharge and escape to safety. However, if you're using the Vitasaur in that same situation, you get your final hit, you get an organ, you die, and then you respawn with 15% ready to go. In this common situation, the Vitasaur can outperform the Ubersaur due to the Uber advantage it will provide you. Now, let's talk about synergies, particularly with the Kritzkrieg. The Vitasaur fits naturally with the Kritzkrieg, especially for medics who prefer to play aggressively. When you're running the crits, you're often taking more risks due to its offensive nature. This minigun also does not provide you with any protection, unlike the other options. This means that you are just as likely to die during your Ubercharge as you are any other time. And this is where the Vitasaur's organ mechanic can truly shine. If you are to die mid-charge, you are able to retain parts of your Ubercharge thanks to the organs you collect. This makes the Vitasaur particularly useful for Kritzkrieg medics who may push forward too far, as the Vitasaur ensures that you don't lose momentum even if things go sideways. Another synergy that's often overlooked is with the Overdose. This weapon gives you a speed boost based on your Ubercharge percentage. Now imagine this, you've just died, and thanks to the Vitasaur, you're able to respawn with a significant chunk of your Uber already in your pocket. This added mobility can be a game changer of spawn, especially in fast-paced scenarios where every second counts. It allows you to close the gap between you and your team quicker, allowing you to get back to healing. Don't you see it? The Vita Sword gives you a chance to recover from those inescapable deaths, transforming the usually passive medic into someone who can take more risks and get involved in the action. It offers a unique shift in playstyle, one that rewards bold decisions and aggressive moves. It's not just about healing anymore. Sometimes it's about taking the fight to the enemy. Let's be honest, medic can be boring. The Vita Sword adds an element of fun that you don't get with the other melee weapons. What the Vita Sword really brings to the table is a safety net for the more daring medic. It gives you the freedom to dive into risky situations and keep pushing forward even if you fall. While other medics may play it safe, being focused on survival, the Vita Sword lets you be more dynamic in your approach, knowing that even death can't fully set you back. It may not be the typical meta choice, but it unlocks a more aggressive and engaging way to play, turning the role of medic from something passive into a more thrilling and unpredictable experience. Unfortunately, as much as the Vita Sword brings to the table, it's hard to ignore the shadow cast by the Uber Store. The sheer utility of the Uber Store makes it a reliable and straightforward weapon. It fits seamlessly into the meta, which is why it is such a popular choice. Compare that to the Vita Sword's more situational benefits, it can feel underwhelming, making it a tough sell for most players. But does that mean the Vita Sword has no place at all? Not quite. In the end, the Vita Sword may be one of the most overlooked and underrated weapons in Team Fortress 2. But it's not as bad as people think. It offers a unique, aggressive playstyle that's worth considering. And maybe, just maybe, it's time to stop dismissing it. Did I get anything wrong? Disagree with my opinions? Think I missed something? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed the video or found it interesting, consider giving it a like, sharing it, and possibly even subscribing. And thank you for getting to the end.